Guys, I'm in a weird spot in my house. Hopefully this is, let's see if we can get it better. That'll work. All right. Hey, welcome to Wellness Wednesday. Oh, so tonight we are going to talk about two really important topics, okay? So we're going to talk about stress and we're going to talk about sleep. Both of these are really important, especially this time of year. If you do not know, when you are stressed and when you are not getting enough sleep, your immune system will not be functioning at its best. So it's really, really important that we make sure that we are getting enough sleep, that we are reducing our stress load as much as possible. It's actually, honestly, guys, like it's right up there with applying On Guard every day, is reducing the stress, managing our stress well, and getting good sleep at night, okay? So what I want to talk about tonight is we're gonna talk about oils, we're gonna talk about supplements, and we're gonna talk about how to utilize those together, okay? So first things first, let's talk about supplementing for stress and supplementing for sleep. Okay, they go hand in hand. One is just a little more powerful to get you through the night, and the other one is to keep your stress levels low during the day. So let me reach over here because I have this handy. I'm short a box, but or a bottle inside here. Okay, so Lifelong Vitality Pack. We've talked about it and we've talked about it and we've talked about it, okay? I think it's really important to remember that this is the foundation, okay? Because what these supplements do is they are going to cause your body's stress response to kind of stay in check a little bit. Your emotional response, keep it in check. These are gonna make sure that our brains are nourished so that we're thinking clearly, so that we're making wise choices, right? So that we're not irrationally coming to emotional places or stressed out places, right? So this is the foundation. Now let's talk about a couple other supplements that are effective for both stress and for sleep. First of all, the adaptive capsules. Guys, if you need more information on these capsules, I went into all the science. If you search adaptive, it's without an E. Let's see if we can see it real good. See right here? ADAPTIV, no E. So the adaptive supplement is going to be really beneficial. It's got GABA in it. Okay, it's going to help your brain to be calmer. It's going to have less neuroexcitability there. Okay, so less fight or flight scenarios. We're going to be just calmer, less stressed. It's going to remove that burden, okay? When we're talking about the adaptive supplement, a lot of people, when in a heightened place of stress or not coping well with life's stresses, it could be that even that little bitty bit of GABA is, how do I say this? Just that little bit, if you find that it totally chills you out, or wow, that tiny bit of GABA that's in there is like outrageously effective. What we're looking for is something that it's going to take the edge off. It's going to be really powerful for you. But what I want to caution you guys is if you notice that it is like really strong for you, taking that capsule, I would actually say reach out to a functional medicine doctor or a holistic doctor to find out what it is in your body, in your brain, within your hormone balances and things like that, that is causing your body to need that so much. It could be that we're actually dealing with some hormone imbalances that are causing us to have an inappropriate response to stress, okay? Or other stressors in our body, autoimmune, things like that. So anytime I notice that someone's like, oh my gosh, and this is a great example because I'm actually like this. So for me, the adaptive is outrageously powerful. So when I chatted with our functional medicine doctor, she was like, well, let's look at what is happening in your hormones and with your autoimmune concerns so that we can know what it is that your body is craving and needing from that. And so now we were able to adjust diet, adjust other supplements, and get me back on track a little bit. So it was a great little red flag for me. So what I do is I actually I know a lot of people take the adaptive supplement during the day or on an as needed basis. So my husband, Michael, he takes the adaptive supplement usually in the afternoon when the kids are coming home, especially if I'm not around. So like when I'm out of town or when I'm off teaching oils classes or whatever, he is here with 7 kids in that horrendous little like 3-hour period between 4 and 7 when they're crabby and they're hungry and there's homework and they're fighting with each other. Everybody's been sitting in desks and needs to go run, but at least lately it's been cold, right? Like there's so much going on that's stressful as the adult that has to manage all of that. So he takes it in the afternoons when kids are coming home. I take it before bed. My anxiety and my inability to turn my brain off actually comes at night. I do a really great job most of the time during the day. I can stay on top of my emotions and my stress levels with oils and with drinking water, and maybe I'll pour myself a cup of coffee and take a minute to take a deep breath. But I have a really hard time shutting all of those overwhelming thoughts, feelings of I didn't do enough today, feelings of I'm not doing a good enough job, whatever. Those are the thoughts that I start having at night. And then I actually get quite a bit of anxiety at night. And so for me, the adaptive I no longer have nightmares about people breaking into our house. I kid you not, guys. It's been as long as I can remember. I don't have those kind of nightmares anymore. I don't hear a noise in the night and make Michael go and check the house, right? Like it has reduced my stress level at those times of the day when it was usually really, really high. Now the other thing that goes along with that Lifelong Vitality and adaptive capsule is it's a whole line now, right? So the adaptive oil, this is the one we diffuse, and this is the one that comes with me. Okay, we have 2 in our house. So like there's one right here in our kitchen and there's one next to my bed because I also diffuse this at night. And then there's this one in the kitchen and then there's this one in my purse, right? So it's with me always. I will tell you, this is what I put on before I do live videos. This is what I put on before I teach an oils class. This is what I put on before I walk into a class party at my kids' school. The overwhelm, the stress, the sensory overload, all the things, right? I get that kind of like panicky, anxious feeling, and this settles me right down, preventatively and in the moment, right? So what we do with this guy though, is this is the guy that we diffuse. So I like to diffuse this in the afternoons when the kids come home. I actually put it in with On Guard because those are 2 things that I really want my kids to have. Like the second they walk in the door, I want them to smell adaptive and I want that stress level to come down and I want to deal with the day's stuff. But I also need them to get On Guard and deal with the day's stuff that they've been breathing in and all of that. So like they walk in the door and I either am spraying hands with sanitizer in the car or we're coming home and I want them to go wash their hands before they have their snack, and they are smelling those bad boys, man. It is like right now, this time of year, we've got that like cabin fever. They're already done with school, friend stuff and emotion stuff, and it's cold and flu season, and so we've got all of it, right? And they're kids. They should be able to come home and have a snack and go play outside. So we are diffusing this a lot. Now I mentioned diffusing it at bedtime, and I'll talk about that again in a second. The other things we're using for daily stress. Now I've kind of explained this to some of our builders lately, the difference between like our liquid calm, liquid xanax blend and utilizing adaptive. What I have found in the people that I'm working with, people that I'm sampling, my own family, myself, adaptive is really great for life stress, okay? It's really great at life stuff, the overwhelm, the busyness, the feelings of not doing enough, the feelings of doing too much, the feelings of the thoughts that we have that race through our brain, the depression, the anxiety, the overwhelm, okay? That's what I go to adaptive for. When I'm talking emotional stress, energetic stress, feeding off of my kids' emotions, feelings of just like all the hormonal emotions, right? Things like that. And sometimes anxiety, so body chemistry plays in here, but for me, it's those emotional, energetic pieces that I reach for, like the balance and serenity, or my supercharged anxiety blend, which let me just tell you what that is real quick. So you guys know, like, I had severe postpartum anxiety after Easton was born. I had a little bit of postpartum depression, but mostly it was that anxiety and the PTSD. I had some trauma that was triggered during childbirth, right? So I had a really rough couple of months after he was born. We had a lot of life stress, right? Paired with that trauma, paired with the hormonal stuff going on. And so I concocted a roller at that time. The regular liquid Xanax wasn't doing it. Balance and Serenity wasn't cutting it. So I did Balance, Serenity, frankincense, and wild orange. Now what I have added since then is copaiba. All 5 of those, I do 10 drops each in a roller. I don't have it right here with me. 10 drops each in a roller. So yeah, that's 50 drops. It's about half full of essential oil, and I top the rest with fractionated coconut oil. And it is like supercharged liquid Xanax or liquid Calm, if that's what you want to call it. But for me, it's extremely helpful. It's extremely helpful. And again, for me, it is more of that emotional, hormonal vibe that I get, that I reach for that. And when my kids are in that like emotional, hormonal, stressful, anxiety place, right? Versus the adaptive is like the external overwhelm, things like that. So those are what we're reaching for moments of stress. Now, I could also stress to you the importance of taking some deep breaths. Okay, one oil, and I'm looking on my shelf is right here because we're rearranging our oil shelf right now. So breathe. It's great for respiratory stuff, coughs, congestions, all of it. But sometimes I just need to take a breath, right? And so I will do a drop of breathe in my hand. I always have peppermint with me because it's good for so many things. So I'll take peppermint, put it in my hands and take some deep breaths, or I'll put it on the back of my neck or on my forehead, just to get that like focused breathing in, right? And remind me, get that oxygen flowing, take a deep breath. And, balance actually oxygenates the blood. So it's literally like your cells are taking a breath. It's pretty amazing. So that's a little about stress. Let's talk specifically about sleep here. And I want to stress that everyone is different. Okay? Remember that we're all different. Now, there are a couple supplements. I mentioned adaptive. For those of you who adaptive super chills you out, you can take adaptive capsules before bed versus in the morning. Everybody is different. Everybody has that need at a different time of day. So what I usually suggest is experiment. Try it in the morning. See how you feel. Didn't work well? Great. Tomorrow you're going to try it in the afternoon or as needed or when it's the stressful time of your day. Didn't work for you? Awesome. Why don't you try it at bedtime? Okay. It's possible that oils alone will cut it for you, but for those of us who need a little bit of extra help, these work beautifully together, the oils and the supplement, and we can use it when it works for us, okay? So another supplement that we can use on top of Lifelong Vitality and on top of the adaptive capsules is Serenity Soft Gels. So guys, they're the little egg-shaped ones, so they're really tiny. Our kids can take them, which they do take them. So I have 3 kids in particular that one of them needs it for anxiousness during the day, and the other 2 need it just for sleep. So Serenity Soft Gels have lavender essential oil, and then they have some other herbs in them as well. Mine are over there. So I'm gonna just, if you need more info, I can drop some down in the comments. But they have changed, I wanna say changed my life, but I don't wanna be dramatic, okay? So here's how I use them. I take 1 before bed, and I like to also take on days when I know that my anxiety is going to be high. I take 1 in the morning. Now what it does for me, it does not chill me out like Adaptive does. It does not like make me sleepy or anything like that. It's actually the opposite. It brings my anxiousness down and it helps me to stay focused. So there's some really cool science about anxiety and internal usage of lavender, which is what is in the Serenity soft gels. It is not Serenity oil in those soft gels. So it's not like some of the other soft gels where what's in it is just an oil. It's not like that. So the same with the Adaptive. What's in Adaptive capsules is not Adaptive oil. Okay? So those two are a separate corresponding or they work well. Symbiotic, I guess is a good way to say it. They're a corresponding supplement to the oil that has the same name. If that, I know it can be confusing, but so Serenity is actually amazing for helping you get some restful sleep. Now, if I don't need one during the day and I haven't already taken one, I will take 2 before bed. So I'll do an Adaptive capsule and I'll do 1 to 2 Serenity, and then I also do Copaiba. Now, let's talk body chemistry. Again, some people, Copaiba relaxes you. Other people, it helps you focus. Okay, now for me, Copaiba relaxes me. Copaiba is that oil that when it came out, it did the next little layer of healing for my PTSD and for my brain. Okay, first layer healing was earlier. Copaiba came out, did the next layer. There's always layers, right? And so Copaiba actually is really, really great for me for inflammation, for my neurological health. And so I take it before bed when I'm taking those other things. And guys, I'm not trying to be dramatic, but Serenity soft gels and Copaiba and Adaptive capsules, literally I'm getting the best sleep of my life. I have never slept this well. I'm waking up refreshed. I'm waking up feeling amazing. Even the other night, so I sleep like with a mask on and I have like a heavy blanket, and sometimes I sleep with earplugs in now that I don't have like babies, right? Like they'll come down if they need me, and we've got a video monitor on. If it gets loud, I'll hear it. But like, just so that I don't hear like the little things. And I haven't had to do that as often now with Adaptive, right? Because all the little noises don't wake me up anymore. But I'm getting amazing sleep. Amazing. So body chemistry is everything you have to know. So you have to sometimes try. Like, it's okay if what works for me didn't work for you. Some people just start taking Lifelong Vitality, and that is what they needed for sleep, okay? They're already getting better sleep. Some adults need Calmer, and that helps them for sleep, okay? So we think of florals and calming things. Those are great for rest. Those are great for sleep when we're diffusing. I diffuse Adaptive, okay? I also diffuse a floral with that. Now Adaptive, what it has in it, it has wild orange, lavender, copaiba, spearmint, magnolia, rosemary, neroli, and sweet gum resin. So for me, I combine this with Serenity, and I always add a fir or spruce or tree oil of some sort, because a lot of us, our body chemistry is such that florals don't really settle us a whole lot. Like, they smell good and they help with the rest, but we also need those grounding tree oils to help with sleep. And so for me, I always pick a tree. I just pick a tree oil every night, and I pick Adaptive and Serenity, and I add a different tree oil, and it kind of changes it. So sometimes that's Siberian fir, sometimes I'll do Breathe, right? Like, that's got a lot of those like eucalyptus, a lot of leafy things. It's got cardamom. So sometimes it'll be Breathe, but most of the time there's like a solid tree. So like a vetiver, copaiba. What else did I mention? Black spruce is like magic oil. Not white fir, but Siberian fir. Sometimes I'll do frankincense. Okay, so I pick usually a tree oil and some sort of floral, and then this has enough of those citrusy florals mixed in that it's really, really ideal. So that's a good combo, is a tree, floral, citrus, if you are someone who needs that. But experiment. Try it out. Some of us can just do the florals. Some of us could hang out. I think this has got only florals, right? Oh, it's got a little bit of the woods in there. Some of us can just do serenity. Not everyone can do that. I cannot do that. So experiment a little bit. Figure out what works for you. And keep in mind that like I know for me that reducing my stress load, let's think about this for a minute, guys. I run a business full time. I ran multiple businesses for years. I have been having babies back to back. I have 7 kids. I have a super busy life. There's a lot of stress, right? A lot of stress, a lot of burden, a lot of weight that I carry. And so I know that reducing my stress while I'm resting is going to give me the most rest I can get. It's going to help my rest be more restorative. It's going to help my immune system to do all its good work if I'm getting legitimate rest. So sleep has to be a priority, guys. We can't just get to 9 o'clock at night and expect to be able to sleep. Okay? It starts with winding down. It might, for you guys, I don't even have them on tonight, might for you mean you need your blue light blocker glasses on, right? Typically, now I was gone out of the house, I had a class tonight. Typically, about 6 o'clock, I put these guys on and I start filtering out the blue light from my screens, from my computer, from the TV. We turn our screens off at our house. We actually don't, we don't use, our kids that go to school during the week, I have a couple homeschoolers. They have a little bit different schedule, the teenagers do, but anybody like 12 and under at our house, there's no screen time during the week so that their brains are getting not all of the input all day long and all the input all night long, and then they're not sleeping well. We want restorative sleep so their immune systems can work well, so their bodies are, all that stress is being tackled while they're resting, okay? So great ideas for sleep. Blue light blockers, block those harmful rays that can disrupt brain function. Thanks, Charlene. Things like an aroma touch massage. If you don't know about that, that's amazing. It can actually help reduce stress, help with sleep. Things like cutting out caffeine. If you find that you get, caffeine keeps you awake far into the night and it shouldn't, cut it out a little sooner. Maybe consider eating a little earlier. A lot of people end up with digestive stuff if they eat too late in the night. If you are someone who wakes to pee all night long, now first of all, I will tell you, something that actually is really helpful if you find that you wake usually around that 3 a.m. is that's your liver talking to you. If you wake up at 3 to go to the bathroom or just you're up, consider adding Zendocrine to your daily routine. I do one in the morning and I do one before bed, and I don't wake at 3 anymore. I also have done a few cleanses and some solid liver support outside of that too. But that is really helpful for those of you who are in that boat. But consider maybe not drinking, after like my 5-year-old. He doesn't drink after about 6 o'clock at night. It's not a good plan. Yeah. Okay. I hope I covered the basics for you guys. We love you. We're so glad you're a part of our team. If you want some more in-depth sleep talk, there's also another really great video. Hopefully, I think this covered most of the same stuff, but you're welcome to check that one out as well. Just search sleep and you'll see it. It's from like April of 2019. And yeah, let us know if you have questions. Have a great night. Get some good rest. Reduce that stress. Sleep all night long. Take your supplements. And I'll be back next week. Have a great one. Bye, guys.